Just look at that. That is absolutely fabulous. Look at that. That is our Black Forest fairy cake made. Oh. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're taking the fairy cake, we're elevating it, we're making the Black Forest fairy cake gâteau style. In here I've got butter, in here I've got sugar. And we're going to whip that up in there, a little beating, nice and creamy, on slow. On slow, here we go. Whew, what a lot of noise. There you go, that's our butter and sugar in there, look. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to put this vanilla in now. So the vanilla is in now, so I don't forget. Right, eggs. Eggs always, as we said before, one at a time, one at a time. Chuck them all in. A little quick beat in. Not fast. They're in there, look. We've got in here with a little bit of salt. Now here we go. We're going to make a depth of flavour here, look. This is milk, a couple of tablespoons, and we are going to use the milk in there. This is 1 teaspoon of instant coffee in there. Let's have that stirred in with that milk. Give it a little stir in, it will dissolve. Now that is going to give us an extra depth on our cocoa. It's not going to taste of coffee, but it is going to boost the cocoa flavour. Now our flour, self-raising flour, okay, and that is our cocoa. So just stir that in. Let's get that in together now before we chuck it in on that egg mixture. Now you can sieve all this if you so wish. I don't think it really matters because we're beating it in. Now, like I've showed you so many times before on here, to stop your eggs from curdling, just go in there with a couple of tablespoons of flour and they won't curdle. Nice little whiz round. In there with the rest of that flour. In there with that milk and coffee. And make sure you get it in. Nice little bring in. And then we need to stir it in. So get your stirry thing and stir it all in. Okay. Just make sure you've got your oven on at 180, and it's just a case of get a tablespoon and start dumping it in. Try and get it roughly the same if you can. It doesn't matter if you can, obviously. But we're just going to keep going until we fill them all in. So there you are, there's our bun cases filled up in the oven. About 15 to 18 minutes. Okay, and when they're done, they come out of there. Come on. Here we go, look at those things. They look absolutely stunning. We're just going to let them cool down completely so we can work with them. They are fabulous. There you go. Right, we need to bloom up some cream. We've got these fantastic buns here, look, cooled down. A little bit of water in here. And we're just going to go in there with a little bit of gelatin. Now, completely optional. But what I'm doing, I'm stabilizing my whipped cream. Because with this, you know, it's going to be out on the side folks are going to enjoy. If you don't eat gelatin, you're going to have to use agar or something like that. Or not bother. If you whip them to stiff peaks and you're going to use it straight away, you don't have to stabilize anything. So just leave that to bloom in there. Okay, I've got cherry brandy. Now you can use a kirsch and all that, but you know, cherry brandy is cherry brandy. It's going in a cake. There's going to be some people, oh, look, cherry brandy in a cake. We're making an adult version of a fairy cake. If you've got kids that are going to eat this, do not add the cherry brandy. It's simple. Okay, let's get rid of that straight away. And we are using cherry pie filling. Cherry pie filling is already cooked, so you don't have to worry about cooking it. Or this particular brand is anyway. You can grate some chocolate over these when we put the cream and everything on there, or you can put chocolate sprinkles on. Up to you again, okay? Come on. Right, we want to get some cream together because this is starting to bloom, look. Be about 5 minutes on this. And we want about a tablespoon of icing sugar. And we're on a beat up. Beat it up. Start it off, and then we're going to drizzle in our gelatin. Drizzle a little bit. Drizzle a little bit. Drizzle a little bit. That will do. We've got some whipped cream there, look. So we want to be getting into our pie filling. Oh, look at that lot in there. That is sensational. Right, we've got to be taking on these little cakes. And it's a straightforward job on this little cake. It's the same as we did with the fairy cakes if you watched that episode. However, I want to bring it out a little more. So we're going to come right there. So if you can see that, we're going to have just a little rim around the outside. Oh, it's breaking up. I have to be careful. And I have gone in there a little bit, look. There we go. So it's a nice and gentle one actually, so we don't break it all up. They are really, really soft cakes. You can see how really soft and spongy that is. Fabulous. Come on, crack on. Now before we go any further, what I will say is, if you've got like a shallow cut like that, because we are going to put brandy and filling in here, just run your knife down like that. Okay, just come round there like that, so you're cutting the inside of the cake if you like. We're not taking the cake out. Push it down. Push it down inside there. And then what happens is, you get this deeper well there, look, which we are going to fill up with our cherry. We're going to put our brandy in there, we're going to put our cherry filling in there, we're going to squirt some cream on, and look at that. Now what we need to be doing is putting a little bit of brandy in there. Now we can't pour the thing in. Some people probably might, but you can't. So we're going to put a little bit in there, and then what we're going to do is take a little bit on a teaspoon and just put that in there. Now to be quite fair, it's not going to be very alcoholic, is it? Because there's hardly anything going in. But it's going to give us that fantastic gâteau type soaked flavour at the bottom. Right, those tops there, on there. Now you can be a little bit more careful than me if you want. That's up to you. I'm just chucking it on, look, as you can see. Now we want this in there, but we don't want soggy tops. And now we're taking some of that cherry pie filling in there. Come on. Get it in. Put your cream in a bag. Or you could just put it in with a spoon, actually. That's up to you. But we're going bag. So nothing difficult, you guessed it. On there, a blob of cream. Hide all those cherries in there. So we just want to be taking those wings that we have just made and put that on there like that. Now don't forget that this is soaked up with that cherry brandy. Oh, fabulous. We've got to do the gâteau bit on there. Oh, you naughty boy. And then you can either grate chocolate over, or you can put a few of those on, a few chocolate sprinkles. Entirely up to you. Grated chocolate works really well. But, you know, for easiness, you can see the idea. And this is where you elevate those cakes. You either use mascarino cherries, or if you are lucky enough, on there with some fresh. Oh, come on. Now that is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculously good. Look at that. Oh, they are superb. Just look at that. That is absolutely fabulous. Look at that. That is our Black Forest fairy cake made. Oh. Now, you know, we're not going to let this settle. It's not settling in the fridge or anything. We are in here. Now, what do? Like everybody else, do you peel off the cherry and eat the cherry first, or do you put it to one side and eat it afterwards? Oh, fabulous. Love fresh cherries. Now if you take time to stone them, that's up to you. Right, this we know is a loose cake. It's got to be eaten with a spoon or a fork. There is absolutely no way that you can eat that by peeling off the paper, unless you can do a one. It's impossible. It's so full of stuff. So let's just loosen that paper like that. And we're going in, straight in there. Oh, collapse. Look in there. Come on. That looks just like gâteau. Oh. That is absolutely fabulous. Oh yeah. And you know, the brandy's not overpowering at all. Oh, that is absolutely superb. I wonder if this is the same. Have we got a really bad, have we got one that crumbled up because it was, look at this thing. This thing is going to have to be eaten. Look, it can't be put out on a plate, can it? Look how terrible that looks. You know, this is one of those that was overflowing at the sides. Oh. Oh, look, it's just collapsing. It's that bad. Oh. Not to worry. We'll struggle on. Take the cherry. So there you go. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, share it with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make these fantastic Black Forest fairy cakes. They are superb. You stick them on a table and watch them all disappear at a party. If you like what we're doing, a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video. Oh, ridiculous.